Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. In this video we're talking about campervan electrics again. It seemed such a popular thing in the last video with the disastrous van, we decided to show you how we do it. We've already started this build by doing all the interior work. We've now got the unit in place, and then the other side of this is where all our electrics are hidden. So first of all, we've installed the outside outlet for the 240 hookup. That simply opens up and gives you access to plugging in on a campsite. Then the wire comes through from outside through the panel. We've already insulated this and put the panel in place and fed the wire through. This will come out this side and go into a consumer unit that we will mount on the back of this panel here. Then there'll be a continued wire from the consumer unit, and then that follows up through here into our plug sockets, which are mounted on the other side. I'll show you that in a second. We also run all of our wires on the back of the unit neatly along the back, putting everything out the way. We will connect up to the sink and the tap, and we have a power source coming down. We label all the wires so we know what does what and where we're running it to. We also have LED lights in the roof, and they're zoned so we can control it from when you're laying in bed, a switch panel that will be on the unit when it's mounted here. So we already run those wires through by the earth. So this is a switchable earth. As soon as it has an earth, it completes the circuit and turns on these lights up here. This is just the initial setup, but we've placed the battery underneath there. This will all be mounted in place later on with secure fittings on the battery. Everything is fused as well, and we mark everything so we know exactly where it's coming from and where it's going to. So this is the lights. We have the wiring here that'll be connected to the battery. You see power switch panel, so that'll come up to the switch panel. We've run the wiring for the LED lights. The power cable runs up this B pillar right the way through. This is it here, and this will come through into the LED lights. So from the hookup on the outside, the wire comes through and goes into the consumer unit. Out of that we run a 240 plug, just so you have a plug at the back of the van for plugging things in. And off of this we actually put in a trickle charger. So when you're hooked up to mains, this trickle charger will be plugged in, and then that feed then goes off down to the battery. This is running a basic one. So this is a little trickle charger that when plugged in, this runs off down to the ledge battery at the front and will charge up the ledge battery. The orange wire coming out, probably a little bit heavy duty for this van because it's only having one plug in the kitchen unit, but that follows through, round, and goes in to where you've seen the plugs on the other side. At this point, me and Clyde slide the unit back into place, making sure we don't trap any of the wires, so we can now work on the electrics from the front. That's the unit in place. We will now open up the switch panel that we've already cut and mounted in there, and take that off, and then we can feed the wires through and start connecting up to everything we need on here. Obviously it's got the wrong, it's not a boat, so yeah, we don't have an anchor light. We'll remove that and change those stickers out. So we've also installed one of our floors with the grippy outro flooring, so this doesn't rip or tear when you slide stuff on it. That's all glued down to the ply flooring, so we've got a nice solid base where we can mount the unit to. We've done Alcantara panels along with the four-way stretch carpet throughout the whole van. All the headlining is also in the Alcantara four-way stretch. We've also added in the blackout curtains. These are all from Just Campers. We've also got the under unit lighting to wire in, that is all done from this switch panel as well. Don't worry, the leisure battery isn't left like this. Like I said before, we will be mounting that properly. We've just loosely connected up the power at the moment, so we've got lighting in the van and we can test the circuits as we put them in. Everything is fused, so there'll be no problems down here. This isn't how we normally do it. We've got to do a earth wire off of that down to the seat post, and we'll also be removing this battery and fitting in the diesel heater pipe, so that comes up beside the battery out here for a vent, so we can have the heat in the back of the van. So I'll catch you in a minute once Clyde has done all the wiring, pulled this switch out here, and we'll start connecting it up and talk to you about how we wire up the switch panel. So in this section here we fit one of the Just Campers fridges. Clyde's just gone to grab that now, and we'll get that sat here and chat about that. So this is the Just Campers fridge we install in most of our campervan builds. It's a 12 volt only. It's a really neat bit of kit actually. It's got the display up the top here. You've got a cool box in the top which is actually removable as well. We'll connect this up in a minute, but we've gone with the black finish on the front as well, so it ties in with the black finish that we've got going on. It is just a 12 volt connection, so we put an inline fuse and connect this directly up to the battery, so this wire goes behind from the fridge round and directly onto the battery there, with a fuse in line. We fit a this is a 20 amp fuse in this, and then once this is all put into place, you pop off the little caps on the side in here, and then you can screw that in to fix it into the wood unit to stop it moving around, and that secures everything in place. So going back to the switch panel, we have the wires that come up from the sink pump, alive and an earth. We have the lights, and that's just a earth wire, and this is the power from the battery, so we've got an earth and a live, and then we've got the light units, well, the unit lights, sorry I should say. Yeah, so these lights here, so these will be on a separate switch here, and then you've got your 240 plug that we spoke about earlier. That's where the orange wire comes up to wire into that. So now we'll work through this. So these are one of the pre-wired switch units that you can buy online. They come all fused, so we change this up slightly because we have our main wire coming up from the leisure battery, which is actually fused at the battery as well as being fused with anything that comes out this side. So this van, being a T6, needs a C-Tech charger. We purchased these kits from Transport HQ. This allows us to charge the main from the main battery to the leisure battery, and you can also hook up, you can see in this little image here, the solar. So if we do install solar, you can link into this, and that will trickle charge from solar to your leisure battery and keep that topped up as well. It's all a neat little unit that we can install underneath the seat. Comes with all the instructions as well. But this is the D250 SE model. Fairly simple wiring, but we'll talk about that in a minute and how we wire that in to be fitted underneath the seat as a split charger as well as a solar charger if need be. I'm hoping that that's helped you somewhat with your electrics in your van. We have a lot of vans come into us that are absolutely horrendous. This is more the simple system that somebody at home can install. We do run other systems as well, but this one's just to explain the simple systems. If you're going to do it at home, you better learn how to do it properly. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers guys. And would you believe it sleeps 7 people?